story Abhignaana Shakuntala. The sign of Shakuntala and many other variants is a Sanskrit play by the ancient Indian poet Kalidasa, dramatizing the story of Shakuntala told in the epic Mahabharata and regarded as best of Kalidasa's work. Its exact date is uncertain, but Kalidasa is often placed in the 4th century CE. The protagonist is Shakuntala, daughter of the sage Vishwamitra and the Apsara Menaka. Abandoned at birth by her parents, Shakuntala is reared in the secluded hermitage of the sage Kanva and grows up a calmly but innocent maiden. While Kanva and the other elders of the hermitage are away on a pilgrimage, Dushyanta, king of Hastinapur, comes hunting in the forest just as he was about to slay a deer. Vaikashana, a sage, obstructs him, saying that the deer was from the hermitage and must not be slain, but politely requests the king to take his arrow back. To which the king complies. The sage then informs him that they are going to collect firewood for the sacrificial fire and asks him to join them. Then spot the hermitage of sage Kanva and decide to pay the hermits a visit. However, the king decides to go to his penance grove dressed up as a commoner. He also stops the chariot further away to not disturb the hermits. The moment he enters the hermitage and spots Shakuntala, he is captivated by her, courts her in royal style, and marries her. Soon he has to leave to take care of affairs in the capital. The king gives her a ring which, as it turns out, will eventually have to be presented to him when she appears in his court to claim her place as queen. One day, the anger-prone sage Durvasa arrives when Shakuntala is lost in her thoughts and when she fails to attain to him. He curses her by bewitching Dushyanta into forgetting her existence. The only cure is for Shakuntala to show the king the signet ring that he gave her. She later travels to meet him and has to cross a river. The ring is lost when it slips off her hand as she dips it in the water playfully. On arrival, the king is unable to recognize the person he married and therefore refuses to acknowledge her. Shakuntala is abandoned by her companions who declare that she should remain with her husband. They then return to the hermitage. Fortunately, the ring is discovered by a fisherman in the belly of a fish and presents it in the king's court. Dushyanta realizes his mistake too late. The newly wise Dushyanta is asked to defeat an army of Asuras and is rewarded by Indra with a journey through heaven. After returning to earth, years later, Dushyanta finds Shakuntala and their son by chance and recognizes them. In other versions, especially the one found in the Mahabharata, Shakuntala is not reunited until their son Bharata is born and found by the king playing with lion cubs. Dushyanta meets young Bharata and inquires about his parents and finds out that Bharata is indeed his son. Bharata is an ancestor of the lineage of the Kauravas and Pandavas who fought the epic war of Mahabharata. It is after this Bharata that India has given the name Bharatavarsha, the land of Bharata. Thank you. Story narrated by Dr. Priyanka MG.